Welcome back to Mobility Insider. I'm Morten Handersbo. Owning an old car like the L322 Range Rover will have its highs and lows. Recently we had a couple of issues and I would like to take you through those issues, what they were and what we did about it. Maybe first about the car. It's our 2010 V8 3.6 turbo diesel Range Rover. The mileage is about 169,000 kilometers. It's well maintained. The consumption 11.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which is about 24 miles per gallon. Now the first issue we have encountered is that the parking sensors stopped working. Now this is an old car, 169,000 kilometers, and it is normal that things will happen. In this case, it's either the sensors or the cabling. So we had both checked, the sensors were changed, all four of them, and now they work well. The cost for doing that, including paint and mount, was 1,020 Swiss francs. Now to the second issue, which turned out to be a little bit more complicated. So we accidentally left the car with the lights on overnight, and next morning, obviously the battery was flat and the car would not start. Normally that is not a big issue. You open the bonnet, you put on jumper cables, and then you can start the engine by using another engine's power. But in this case, by error, we parked the car in the garage under a cupboard which is mounted on the wall, and we could not get access to the battery because we could not open the bonnet. Now then what you have to do is to manually put the car into neutral, push it out a bit, open the bonnet, and then you put on the jumper cables. And now to do that, you need to release it from the parked position to neutral position. And for that, you need a small screwdriver or a pen or something like this from a GoPro camera. And then here, so there's a small lever and it's hidden behind those two walls here. So you put a screwdriver carefully in here, you push it up, and now you can actually move the gear shift lever to neutral, and then you can push the car. Only in this case, that was not enough because of the low temperature. It's quite difficult to start a big diesel engine like the one in the Range Rover. So we had to first use a donor battery, charge the old battery in the car, and then after having added a bit of power to the old battery, then we could use jumper cables from another car, and finally we could have the engine started. So now we've got the engine up and running again, and we took the car for a drive. I recommend you always do that for at least 45 minutes to make sure that the battery gains enough power and doesn't drain again. Now we came back, parked the car, but then we had encountered a new small problem. Apparently one of the sensors for the heating system was now malfunctioning, and that meant that it did not shut down. So when you parked the car, locked it, the heating system was still running, and that would now drain the battery once again. So next morning we had the same problem, the car wouldn't start. We now decided to take another approach, take out the battery entirely, charge it again during the next 24 hours. We charged it up to 100%, reinstalled the battery and hoped that it would have solved the problem of the heating, but actually it did not. So now we decided to take the car to the workshop to have it fixed. Now there's a little trick. If you need more space when you work with your car and you want to have full access to, say, the battery or some of the other parts of the engine compartment, you can actually lift the bonnet up to a full 90-degree access mode. The way you do that is you chip out the gas strut on both sides by using a screwdriver carefully without scratching any of the paint. They pop out and then you can open it fully. And here there is a mechanism that will then lock the car in the 90-degree full opening access position, and then you have full access to the engine compartment. Now in our case, after the second time the battery was fully drained, we did decide to take out the battery and charge it fully. Now I don't recommend you do that because it's 20 kilos of a heavy battery, very difficult to get it in and out. So I recommend leave the battery in the car, buy an extension cord and have the battery charged while it is still mounted in the engine compartment. Now at the dealership we had the diagnose made and we had to change the two sensors that control the heating and the vents in the car for the heating, and with installation and some of the other small issues that had to be reset with software updates, the total cost was 1,300 Swiss francs. Now at the dealership, we just had a couple of other issues we wanted to fix as well. The gas struts that hold up the bonnet when you open it, they had lost their resistance, so we had them changed at the cost of 215 Swiss francs. And also the towing hitch needed lubrication and cleaning, and we had that done for another 100 Swiss francs. So it cost me 2,650 Swiss francs to get the car back up and running. And since I bought the car, I budgeted 400 francs per month to keep it running and repair it, and that has been bang on so far. Now, despite these small issues, we still really like the L322. It is a great car, it's really practical, and it fits so well into this environment in the Swiss mountains. Thank you for watching Mobility Insight. I hope you liked the video. Please share it, like it, and subscribe to the channel. If you've got any comments or any questions about the L322, please put them down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to reply to it.